Hi there, this is Stacy Ray, and I'm the CEO of Group Travel Host Agency. And first, I'd like to apologize to you for the scratchiness of my voice. We are in high pollen season. In any event, I wanted to speak to you tonight about the pros and cons of selecting a host agency and what you should really be looking for when you are trying to grow your business and become successful. In the United States, there are plus or minus approximately 100 or so host agencies. Now, in truth, each is unique, especially with regard to size and specialty, with the tone of the host agency and its leadership team, the fees they charge, the commission splits that they offer, and payments of those commissions. Some offer lead generation, some don't. Some provide training and support, some don't. But most of all, what you should be looking for is which one of these host agencies is actually invested in your success. Which host agency really is going to go to the mat for you so that you reach your goals. So I'm going to ask that you stop, take a minute, think about these things, and then proceed with really investigating the host agencies that you're considering. So when we talk about the size of a host agency, there are small host agencies, medium size, and large. I hear a lot of people saying that they like being with a large host agency. I myself was part of a large host agency. What are the pros of being with a large host agency? And when we talk about large, I'm talking about several thousand independent contractors who are functioning as travel agents under that host agency. Certainly, a couple of pros that you can consider are that they may offer a percent or two higher on commissions based on the entire volume of everyone in that host agency. They might also offer dedicated host agency fam trips, and you may find that to be a very valuable perk for you. But there's also some cons and things to be concerned about with such a large host agency. First of all, if you think about all of the fees and commission splits they are collecting on a monthly basis or annual basis, this is really their model. Your fees and your commission splits are what makes them successful. Not you, but them. You have little or no access to the leadership of the host agency unless you skyrocket to become one of their top 100 or 200 agents. And there's little to no investment in your personal success. There's nobody waiting there hoping to help you with the things that you need to be successful. And most of the time, you have difficulty accessing answers when you need them immediately. They have large staffs who all have separate things, and a lot of times one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing, and they'll pass you off to other people who may or may not respond to you. Another concern is, what is the specialty of your host? There are many host agencies who specialize in primarily one thing. All-inclusive bookings are an example. There are many host agencies that is really their niche. And so they get terrific commissions and have great perks and amenities for your clients because that's their specialty. There's others that specialize in cruises or luxury travel or one thing or another. But how many are full service with travel experts that can mentor you in all types of travel? And if you want to be a full service travel expert, or you want to do primarily group travel or primarily custom FIT European travel, it's important to know if your host agency can provide that support and mentoring and training for you as you need to grow. Have you even met your host? There are many host agencies who let you simply click a button sign on and start paying your fees, and they'll send you all kinds of automated emails with your logins and things of that nature. But what about meeting them? And I mean really seeing them face to face or talking to them. Are you close enough where you can sit down and have a cup of coffee and really think about what they have to offer and get a gauge on their temperament, their demeanor? Is there an opportunity for you to speak with the CEO by telephone or FaceTime or Skype? These are important things. I like to know who I'm working with, and I imagine you do too. In the travel industry, and there's probably nothing more important than the concept of integrity and transparency. I've seen too many times where promises are made but not kept. You maybe have experienced that yourself with your current host. Have you had to chase down unpaid or late commissions? What about skimming commissions? I don't know if you're familiar with that or not, but oftentimes, especially in a larger agency, they can negotiate a contract with a supplier for 18%, but everything you see is 16%. So not only are they collecting your fees, not only are they splitting a commission with you, but then they're getting 2% of your bookings that you know nothing about. Do they take control over your earned rewards? So, for instance, if you are a big Charisma Resorts booker, do you have control over your rewards, or does your host agency? Are they properly licensed? Telling you that they're licensed does not mean that they're licensed. And requiring you to get your own licenses is only appropriate if, in fact, you are required to get your own license. Can you verify that you're covered under their E&O policy? There are error and omission liability policies that a host agency can purchase that do not cover independent contractors. So if you are under the assumption because they told you that you're covered, how do you know for sure? Do they keep information from you? Things as simple as who's your BDM for a particular property. And have you checked to see what their reputation is in the industry? And by that I mean not just the host agency itself, but the CEO and leadership of that host agency as well. Lead generation. I've seen so many host agency promise lead generation. Quite frankly, Group of Travel Host Agency will tell you that we do provide lead generation. But here's what we don't do. We don't promise you anything. If you're talking to a host agency that tells you they provide leads, ask them these questions. Where do the leads come from? And who are you competing with to get that lead? How does the host agency assign the leads, and what criteria do they use? What's the closing rate on the leads that you are given or that other agents are given? And what's the average booking amount of those closed leads? And who does the lead belong to if you give it to me? Oftentimes you'll see in the contract, if your host gives you a lead, technically that lead belongs to them, not to you. And does your commission rate remain the same if you're given the lead? Many host agencies will lower your commission rate on that lead because they gave it to you. You will find we do not do that at Group of Travel Host Agency, but many host agencies do work that way. With regard to your commissions, what actually is your commission split? And does this apply to all your bookings, as we just said? Would that apply to a lead that they gave you? Do you receive 100% of your commission back when you travel personally? And what are the requirements and rules for that? How often are you paid? Is there a written pay schedule? And have you checked with other agents to determine if payments are always on time? Do your commissions change if you book with a non-preferred provider? There are quite a number of host agencies who have very high negotiated rates with preferred suppliers, but what if you don't like them and you want to work with someone else and your host tells you, sorry, instead of 80% commission, you're only going to get 60? That's a really important question to ask. And do you receive timely reports before you're paid about what you're being paid for? When you're paying host agency fees, it's very important to know if their fees are a secret. If a host agency is not willing to be upfront with you about what their actual fees are, this is cause for concern, and you should be wary. Are their fees fair, and are they providing you with value? In my opinion, there's certain things that your host should always include in your monthly or annual fees. One of them is certainly errors, omissions, and liability insurance with proof that you are actually covered. This is expensive insurance, and if you had to go out and get it on your own, this is an added fee to the cost of doing business. Do they provide you with a CRM system, a client management system, that can take you from the minute you speak to a lead through the invoicing process and back office process after you've made a booking? And do they offer other incentives that help you build your business? So, as with any business that you would work with, work for, frequent, there's always a tone in the business. And that tone begins at the top and filters down to everyone in the organization. One of the things that I like to say is when you're trying to reach a host agency, or any business for that matter, are you experiencing delays in even hearing back from them at your initial contact? And is the CEO or leader of that host agency willing to speak with you personally before you sign on with them to answer any questions or concerns that you may have? And is that host agency leader willing to work with you on amending your agreement if necessary before you sign in order to meet your needs? Maybe there is just a very small change that you need in that agreement that will help your business be successful. Are they flexible enough to even speak to you about it and consider it? And will you really get what you need to meet your business goals? So, how do you vet a potential host agency? Well, first of all, I encourage you strongly to visit the various host agency review sites to read the reviews. And as with anything, if there's one disgruntled agent, that's one thing. But when there is a pattern, be very, very wary, research it further, or run for your life. That's your choice. Visit NACDA and learn about the different hosts that they feel are host worthy, shall we say. Word of mouth referrals are probably the most valuable. They tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. The problem is a lot of agents will speak to one person that they know, and that person gives them a review that helps them make a decision. Never ever limit yourself to speaking to one person. Speak to several people. Listen to the good, listen to the bad, and be willing to be open enough to ask more questions. Insist on having everything in writing if your host agency is promising you something. One of the biggest faux pas I've seen made by host agency owners is promises that they cannot keep. And I'll give you an example. Co-op money. Everybody needs and wants co-op money. Now, some of the larger agencies have a much more structured approach to how they divvy out that co-op money, but the amount is so minimal, you may find it's not helpful to you at all. In a smaller agency, sometimes a host agency will promise you the world and then they can't deliver. And you'll find yourself paying for marketing opportunities and not getting the return from your host or the supplier as was promised to you. So please always insist on having these things in writing. And then always, always ask your host agency for a copy of their seller of travel licenses, their errors, omissions, and liability insurance policy, and their IATA and CLIA documentation. And when it comes to training and support, let's remember, no host agency should be promising to make you into a travel agent. They should be promising to help make you become a more successful agent. And what is the definition of success? I can't tell you that. Success is what you want it to be. And so if they cannot help you become what you want to be, perhaps they're not the right fit for you. Do they offer training that will help you succeed within your niche? Or can they at least provide you with resources and ways in which you can become an expert? When they offer webinars and trainings, when do they offer them? Are they at night, during the day, weekends? And how often? Who offers those trainings? And do you have access to a travel agent portal where you can access all the information you need about your suppliers and methods of doing business and training and things of this need so that you can access this information when you actually need it? At Group of Travel Host Agency, we are a small, personalized, customized host agency, and we're invested in you and your success. Your mentoring and guidance comes from me. I'm the CEO. I'm the one who wants to help you. Now, we have a team of other agents who are experts in various different fields, all of whom are willing to help one another. We are flexible and transparent, and we operate with 1000% integrity. And the other thing I wanted to mention is you have the ability to add subagents with us. And there are some caveats to that, but again, I'd be happy to speak to you about it. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Obviously, I would love to speak with you at your convenience if you are interested in learning more about our host agency and how we can help catapult you to where you want to be in this industry. You can email me at newagent@groupittravelagents.com, or please feel free to call me directly at 919-578-9028 extension 101. And please visit our website at www.groupittravelagents.com. But please remember this, whether you find Group It Travel Host Agency the perfect fit for you or not, we hope that you do find the right host agency. And again, your success is our success.